Call to order the Madison County Board of Education meeting for September the 8th, 2022. Second thing on our agenda is our vision. Ms. Brock, would you read our vision for us, please?
Madison County Schools, in partnership with the community, strives to equip educators and students with the skills to lead by example, develop and speak with a unique voice, and explore their academic curiosity to make a positive impact on our community and world.
Thank you. And I think something that we've been looking forward to for over a year now, but now we have a couple of showcases next on our agenda.
That's right. Our first showcase is from Boonesboro Elementary School. Dr. Shelley Bolden has some students here with her tonight to present on their leadership club at Boonesboro. So Dr. Bolden, come on up and introduce who you have with you.
Let me introduce themselves.
Absolutely.
Leadership Club.
Great.
Hi, my name is Sydney Deeb. Hi, my name is Sydney Deeb. We are from Boonesboro Elementary. We are leaders from our school. We are members from the Leadership Club. Today we are sharing things about how our school is amazing. We asked students in our school why they think Boonesboro is the best school. The kids told us a lot of things and we picked our favorite 4. We shared our ideas with each other. Then we wrote what we wanted to say to you. I feel happy and excited to share our ideas with you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Phillips. One thing I like about Boonesboro is our playground equipment. We have a lot more playground equipment than at my old school, like how we have more slides and more swings at my other school, than my other school. There's so much to play on. I also like to play on the giant land we have outside when we go to recess. A lot of kids like to play with the football or play baseball or sharks and minnows on the giant field. Another thing is I like that we get 2 or more recesses. We have a recess after lunch and before we go home. This helps us get our energy out. It gives us time to play. We are very thankful for our playground. Our playground makes BES a fun place to go to school.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Sullivan. One thing I like about Boonesboro is that we have a big cafeteria and a lot of seating. Our seating area has our Boonesboro colors. We also don't have assigned seats. We can choose where we want to sit each day. We are very grateful about our cafeteria. Another thing I like about our cafeteria is the amazing food. We have a lot of food choices every day, and we are very thankful for our food at BES. We are also appreciative of our gym equipment and our bleachers. We have nice big bleachers. All of our students fit on the bleachers when we have programs or games. Most of our gym equipment is brand new. We are very pleased about our gym equipment. These are some things that make Boonesboro a better place to learn.
Hi, my name is Addison Gray, and one thing I love about Boonesboro is we have nice staff and students. Our teachers don't yell when we get in trouble or do something wrong. When someone accidentally knocks someone over, the teacher always helps and never yells. We are very grateful for that, and we feel safe that we know the teachers aren't going to yell if we do something wrong. Our staff and students are inspiring and thankful. When kids need help, the teachers help for that and inspire them to keep going. All the students are thankful for that, and we appreciate how kind and helpful the teachers are. We are very blessed to have them. All of the students are caring, including, and role models. When somebody is sad, we always cheer them up and ask them to play. We feel so nice and good whenever we help others. This is one thing I love about BES from many others.
Hi, my name is Harper Freddy, and I'm really excited to share my ideas with you. One thing I like about Boonesboro is pause. I like that almost everyone follows pause. Sometimes people don't follow pause, but most people do. I feel good about it because it makes me feel safe. PAWS stands for positive attitude, always respectful, work hard, and stay safe. Positive attitude means having a can-do attitude. Always respectful means being nice to others. Work hard means to try and never give up. Stay safe means listening to instructions. I feel good about it because it inspires us to do our best. Every morning, the principal reviews PAWS. I feel good about it because it helps me remember. We all appreciate PAWS. PAWS helps to make our school better. Thank you
to the school board for creating Boonesboro and helping us by giving us teachers and supplies. Your help is another reason why we are amazing.
Thank you all.
Great job, guys. All right, next for our student showcase, we're fortunate to have the official return of regular student showcases. I'm sorry, I read the wrong line. Next for our student showcase is Madison Southern High School Marching Band, led by Director David Ratliff. Mr. Ratliff and a few of his band members are here tonight to present a video from the band's first performance last Friday evening and to tell us more about what can be expected from this year's Madison Southern Band.
Thank you guys for letting us come out and speak with you. If you don't mind, we're going to talk a little bit, then show a video, then talk a little bit more, kind of sandwich it. I've got a couple of my seniors with me. This is senior drum major Trinity Harris and senior saxophone player Evan Hayes. Trinity is our student leader. She's the one that stands up, and you'll see her flapping her arms, kind of leading the band as we're going along. She's going to talk to you a little bit about what the show is, and then we'll watch the video, and then I'll kind of wrap up.
For our school year of 2022 and 2023, we have our marching band show named Serpentine. We use curves, flowy movements, and snake-like images. In addition to that, the music we play could make you think of snake charmers. All of these things help us paint a portrait for our audience. Students and staff alike have worked so hard since mid to late July, and we plan to work twice as hard until the end of October. This year, we gained many freshmen and even some upperclassmen that have never marched before. It can be stressful and overwhelming learning things that other people in the group already know. They have been amazing at handling this, and they have worked so hard to get where they're at today. I am so proud of them, and I am so excited to see them in action next Saturday. Next Saturday is our first competitive performance. This is the performance to start our competitive season. All of us are excited to get started, get out there, and get at it.
couple things I wanted to say just in wrapping up here in conclusion. I want to say thank you for a couple things. We recently received an assistant director at Madison Southern as a full-time position that was created, and I cannot say thank you enough for that. A lot of what is happening with us right now as we come back out of COVID is we took a serious hit with our numbers. I'm proud to say that we're back up to where we have 135 people in the band classes during the day. That's impossible to do without the support that we have from here. Both logistically and financially, you guys have been super, super great for us, and we wanted to make sure that we didn't miss this opportunity to say thank you to. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Great job.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Number 4 on our agenda is audience comments regarding agenda items. We have none. All right, next up is our consent agenda. These are items that appear regular on the agenda that the board members are familiar with. Items for approval on the consent agenda are the minutes of the tax hearing and regular meeting on August 25th, 2022, the claims, the acknowledgement of superintendent's personnel actions, the acknowledgement of leaves of absence to declare technology surplus, Madison Central High School softball trip to Miramar Beach, Fort Walton Beach in Florida, approved 3 shortened school day applications, the 2022-23 certified evaluation appeals panel as presented to declare maintenance surplus and authorize auction of those items, the technology activity report, to review the school activity fund reports. Is there any questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock,
Second.
second by Ms. Cole. All those in favor? Aye. Next, we have our monthly reports. For our instruction report tonight, we will have our Gear Up report. From Madison Southern High School, we have Jason Williams, Aaron Ponder, and Kathy Stringfield. And from Madison Central High School, we have Carrie Johns and Daniel Park as our presenters. And Mr. Muntz.
Good evening, how y'all doing? Good. So we have Gear Up, you announced them, and we have representatives from Madison Central and Madison Southern, and so they'll just be sharing some highlights of what they're doing. And I was blessed as a principal to get to work with Gear Up, and they do really great things for our students at both schools, so happy for them to get to share. So, Madison Southern.
All right, I'm Jason Smith, Madison Southern. I'm a Gear Up academic interventionist, and we partner with Berea College to implement this program with the Madison County Schools. And yes, first and foremost, thank you all for your support with our Gear Up program to our school board. So again, for academic interventionists, just to give you a short overview, we spend about 70% of our day in reading or in English and mathematics classes working with students who may need additional academic interventions, targeted interventions, etc. As far as some of the products and programs we have provided through our academic support, I just wanted to kind of go over a few things with you. Starting from last school year, and then we'll kind of make our way into this school year of 22-23. So last year, we partnered with our English department, and we made a very large purchase for English literature books. The English department, that was their request, their research, and they felt like they needed literature books, and we was able to fulfill that. And they worked with English literature circle units last year with their sophomores. It was roughly a 3-week unit. Students did book tasting, students worked in groups, and then the grand finale for the unit was an independent project by each group. And that went over so well with our students and our English department and our administration. We've even purchased books now for our juniors. So we're very excited. I know the students are excited. We're going to get to do a similar unit in their junior school year here. Also, we were able to purchase a complete science Chromebook cart filled with 30 Chromebooks so that our science department can do some virtual computer labs with their students. Last year, But we did also just purchase 2 additional Chromebook carts for our building to implement various other technology programs as our staff would like to use. Math, we purchased some TI Inspire calculators for our math department. They had some, but we wanted to kind of fill the fleet up a little more for them. Gear Up took on a major task last year with connecting with our parents. We worked very diligently making individual phone calls to our parents we did an interview with them. We talked to them about what they knew about Gear Up, what they knew about Keys money. And by the way, we do college and career readiness, Gear Up does. We talked about financial aid planning, FAFSA, things of that nature, and we collected data so that we could better improve this school year and our sophomore and junior students into their senior and graduating exiting year to plan with them, to plan more additional after-school programs, in-school programs, so that we could better target our parents and their needs from what they need help with for college and career readiness. A lot of them need help with financial aid. A lot of them need help with finding the right college and the right admissions office for their students' college of interest or trade school or vocational school or tech school. So we've shared with them, we've raised that awareness with them individually, that we're there for them every step of the way until their student graduates high school into their post-secondary transition planning. This year in 22-23, we're working with Mr. Muntz here with our WIN Learning Program, and that's our individual learning plans where students will focus on their career planning. They'll learn about different careers and hopefully find some things of interest that they want to learn more about. We've also purchased what we call the Galileo Instructional Software Program. Gear Up has. This is an academic support for reading, math, English, and the science program departments that use Kentucky academic standards that develops individual learning plans for each student to assist with reaching and or exceeding benchmarks. Also, there's an ACT component with built-in ACT, SAT assessments, and career technical education for students. So we're really excited about this program. It also syncs with Infinite Campus to develop assessments and things of that nature for our students to recognize where they're at and where they would need to go academically. Also this year, I think a large task that we are doing this year as far as interviews, again, last year we interviewed with parents. We're working with our sophomores and juniors. This year, Gear Up is for individual interviewing. There we'll be doing one-on-one interviews with their students. We'll be consulting with them on their future plans after school, their top 3 colleges, technical school, or military plans that they plan to attend after graduating high school. And I think one of the most important parts of this interview as well is that we will be there to help them every step of the way to overcome any obstacles that they have, as well as their parents in achieving their post-secondary goals. So we're really excited about that. And just as excited about our new ATC Center, Ignite South in Berea. That will be opening soon, and we plan on having a junior night during open house at ATC night so that we can connect with our parents. We want our parents to know that we're here for a 4-year college support, we're here for technical school support, trade school support, et cetera. So we want to really raise that awareness with our ATC Center and look forward to working with the staff over there as well. Down at Ignite South. Lastly, back to academic planning, one last thing. We partnered with Torch Prep, which is an ACT prep company last year to do some Torch Prep ACT preparation with their students. Last year we had 100 sophomores who spent all day long doing a 100 of them spent all day long learning strategies to improve their ACT scores. And we actually had a PD on that here at the beginning of the school year, and our teachers have given us really good feedback on that. So we're doing it again here just before the big ACT. That's going to happen on October the 5th. Our sophomores and juniors will test on October the 18th. So, and one last little bit with Torch Prep is we're also having a complete Torch Prep ACT pep rally for all sophomores and juniors. They'll be in the building on September 21st where they'll spend a class period with each grade level providing some motivated support. That's kind of what they do, getting our students pepped up, rallied up, and letting them know that, hey, that test is all yours. You can handle it. So that's about all I have. I have Kathy Stringfield behind me, who is our college career navigator, who can kind of give you a little more information about some of the field trips, leadership, things of that nature, other programs that we have for our students. But thank you very much, and does anyone have any questions?
I'm so pleased to know that you all are working with our ATCs and for those career paths. It's funny because I had my questions written down here. ACT prep with torch prep. I have 2 students that went through and were both in the Gear Up program. And so it's an incredible program. And I'm a huge believer in torch prep. So I'm thrilled that you all are incorporating and expanding that for those kids that are going to take the ACT that want to go on. But just as importantly, I'm so happy to hear that you are also addressing potential military careers and vocational careers and other things outside of college, because we know that's not the only avenue for these students to be successful after high school.
Thank you. And, you know, I really feel like our parent interviews last year, that was very time consuming for 4 of us to interview with parents with over 600 students. But that is one very, very crucial piece of feedback that we got from parents, that, you know, they just thought that we were for 4-year colleges and things of that nature. But, you know, we are, but we certainly made clear to our parents that we're more than that. We're everything for their students. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Kathy Stringfield. I'm the College and Career Navigator at Southern. Like Jason said, we've got all kinds of stuff, irons in the fire with this. I get to do the fun stuff. I get to take kids out on field trips, and we are going to UK next week. Last year, we only got to go on 3 field trips because of COVID. I'm sure that was for everybody. But so this year, we're really looking forward to getting all of the kids out there, and we're going to BCTC. We've been to Somerset. Like he was saying, you know, we are not just about the 4-year college. And I have just, since being in this program, become aware that there's a work-ready scholarship. And that is like, they can go to Somerset or BCTC, and they can go up to 60 credit hours for free. And everybody qualifies. It's like, there's no, if you've not been to college, if you've been out of high school for 5 years and you've never went to school, you can go and do this for free. So I always tell them you can go and get a degree for free, get out, get a job, and not owe a dime. So that's really good. Aside from that, we are doing this thing called the Pulse of Surgery, and we did it last year, and the kids all loved it. They get to watch a live open heart surgery, and it's, I mean, comes from Louisville. We put it in the auditorium, and while the surgery is going on, the kids can ask questions of all of the people working. So they get to hear from a radiologist, they get to hear from a med-surg nurse, they get to hear from the surgeon himself. So it's like they can ask questions during that surgery. I mean, you get to see a heart stop. It's pretty incredible. So I'm really looking forward to that this year too. As far as like for this spring, we have some other field trips planned, and then this summer, we did a summer program this past summer where we took the kids on 3 field trips. Like I said, we didn't get to go on very many. So when school was out, you know, everything kind of opened up. So we took kids, and we were surprised at the turnout we got. I mean, it was 2 weeks after school let out, and kids were willing to come back and go with us on a trip. So I was really impressed with that. So this summer, we're looking to see if we can maybe go out to Western Kentucky and see Western, Louisville, all those places that, you know, we can't get to in the day. So that's about all I have for you guys. Thank you.
Are you guys taking your sophomores and your juniors on your field trips, or just your juniors?
Sophomores and juniors.
Juniors.
Yeah, I'm the sophomore college and career navigator. Yep, they all get to go.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, hi, I'm Daniel Park. I'm a college and career navigator at Madison Central. And like them, we do a lot of the very similar things. We work with Win Learning. We're trying to get kids to understand what their options are, what opportunities are out there for them. And I'll just give you a few highlights of what we have going on. Today, actually, we took our leadership club, our Gear Up Leadership Club, to the Chamber of Commerce luncheon at EKU. We got to listen to the president speak about what his plans are and some of the things they have going on. And they've got to mingle with some of the people in the community and that was a good opportunity for our kids. We have a bunch of trips coming up. We have at least 5 in September in the next couple of days, so we've got lots of things going on. We're getting really busy. In October, we're heading to Kentucky State and the Capitol, so we get to tour the Capitol. We'll go to Kentucky State, see what they have to offer. Another thing we have going on in January is our junior night, and that consists of we are going to have a college fair at one of our basketball games. So while the basketball game's going on, while the JV game's all going on, we'll have a bunch of representatives from colleges around the state of Kentucky there to answer questions, speak with kids, speak with parents, and hopefully we'll get a big turnout for that because, a lot of people like to go to basketball games. And so that's one of our big plans. And then we also do summer activities. Like this past summer, we went to Jefferson Community College. We went to Western Kentucky. We also went to Moorhead. And this year we plan on going to University of Louisville and maybe going to the zoo afterwards, seeing some different opportunities that they have there. We're trying to get in with the University of Cincinnati and the Bengals or the Reds in kind of that field. And then we also have a EKU Nursing Day that we have planned. And that was really cool. We did it this summer as well, and they got to have these mannequins. They got to have a real birth with mannequins. They got to see the child come out, and I think they really enjoyed that. And so we're going to do that again. We're going to partner with EKU again. And any questions for me? Thank you very much.
I don't have the stomach for these videos. I can tell you that.
And I'll turn it over.
I think it's awesome.
All right. And I'll turn it over to Carrie Johns.
Hi, I'm Carrie Johns. I'm an academic interventionist at Madison Central. They've covered almost everything. The only thing I really have to add is that we've also purchased 75 of the ACT prep books, and we're going to start providing ACT tutoring during their studio classes, and we're going to offer different times before and after school for students to hopefully be able to get a wider range of students, not just the ones that can stay right after school. And really, that's all. I mean, they've touched on everything, all the programs, and I don't need to hear it twice. We did have, I think you all have this as a handout, and there's a few numbers, some data, the number of students that we worked with last year in tutoring. You can see there's over 1,200 students that received some type of tutoring or Gear Up service. College visits, we took 562 students on college visits last year. Rigorous academic curriculum, 239. I think that'll go up this year because there's a lot more offerings of dual credit classes at Central than what we had last year. And we had about 520 families or parents or guardians show up for family events last year as well. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you all. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you very much. I can say as a parent with a child in that group, I really appreciate these people. They are doing a fabulous job.
All right, next up, we have our construction report given by Mr. Tony Thomas with Clotfelter Samacar. How are you, Tony?
Good. How are you all this evening?
Good.
It's a beautiful weather day outside, so they were able to pour some concrete at the at the Activities Building in Madison Southern, and we'll get to that. But we'll start with Clark Moore's. I got in school on time, so they had an open house, I think about the 8th, and the next week came in and was able to get in school. Few things still missing. There's some letters on, that's when you walk into the front office, there'll be some letters back behind the office desk there, but still looking pretty good. They're in the kitchen, in the cafeteria. I know Madison Central staff, administrative staff had a lot to do with cleaning up the kitchen area, and they did some work on, Madison County did some work on their own, so a lot of hands involved. I think Erin saw her coming out there. Here we go, and of course, they're using the gym. New bleachers installed, new backboards installed, new paint and floors installed. The media center was just there today. Going to try to punch it Monday and turn it over. Of course, we've been in touch with Mr. Sexton, and he knows the schedule, he knows the plan, but everything's looking pretty good there. That's just another view of the new media center, or renovated. There's another class area, and those are glass marker boards in the back. They've got one to put up there. That'll be a TV right there, so, supplied by Madison County. Got a lot of TVs to put up, don't they? Oh, Ben's not, no, there he is. He's got a lot of TVs to put up. The cooler and freezer are in, and it was cold in there. I know they worked because it was cold in there. But we got tile floor, it's going. They should be able to have those and occupy those by Monday. And of course, the concessions building out back, they're just going to try to do some landscaping, hopefully this weekend or next week, and get some grass growing. Other than that, they're almost complete as well, so they'll be able to use that building. And that's it for Clark Moore's, unless there's any question on Clark Moore's. They do, I know that piece of trim is still there if you're driving by, and they said they're scheduled to do that over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully they'll get to it.
In the gym,
Yes.
how many can seat in the, not in the gym, in the cafeteria? How many can you seat with those tables that you have?
Well, that's good. Those were a Madison County purchase, so I don't know how many there is, but I mean, with the size of the cafeteria there, you should probably be able to seat about 300 at any given point.
Yeah, the seating that we have, yeah, Mr. Neely, 225 is the seating we have currently. Now, there's enough space in there if we did the, the different types of seating where you get them closer together, we could get 300 in there, but 225 is what was seated right now.
Right, okay.
Central and Southern dugouts and storage. There's been some progress at Central. Concrete's been hard to come by, but the contractor's been able to cast a concrete roof here. This had to stay under shoring for 14 days. This is, of course, there's the football field in the background. This is third base softball, and that's another view of the other side. So really good job on the concrete roofs. And I know the principals at both schools have selected the paint that's going to go on the interior of the building and on the roof as well. This is the shoring still up. This is cast, but it's hard. I'm not that tall, so I couldn't get up very good to see it, but that's still shoring under the first base softball. So they should be able to pull out the shoring there at the concrete. This is the third base, which is home for Central baseball. They're putting up some shoring there to cast the concrete, so coming along really good. There's another shot of it, looking from home plate towards the home dugout. And this is the first base one, and that's a storage building, and you can see some shoring on the right there, so they'll be able to cast those and get them in place. The shoring is, they move it from one space to another. They don't have 8 different shoring, so there hasn't been much at Southern while they're waiting for these to, and so when these are done, they'll move the shoring down to Southern and continue operations down there. Spoke with the contractor, I guess that was just this morning, and they're lining up the painter and the door hardware installer, so they're going to come in and wrap those up ASAP. And there's just another view of the shoring on the first base side of Central. Any questions on the dugouts and storage buildings? North Campus, of course, they got in. Of course, you've seen several different views of this picture now, but got one with the flag going. It's good to be in there. Good to see Mr. Clark and the principals and everybody in there, getting in the labs. Of course, if you step in, there's the lobby looking down towards the corridor that takes you to all the labs. This, if you turn around and look back at the entry piece. This, I wanted to point this out because we talked about it during schematic and design development. This is if you're in the reception area and you're looking out to the lobby. If you look from that point, if you look to the right, you can see the gym doors, you can see the concession. You look back, you're looking at the lobby. So it's kind of passive security. You can see the front doors. You look a little to the left, anybody walking down towards those doors, and those doors remain locked. You can see anybody going in the door, and then you can look all the way down. Those are the exit doors all the way out of the other end of the hallway there. So without security cameras, the person in that position can see everywhere in the building that's not behind a locked door. So, and of course the gymnasium, they've finished the gymnasium now, so it could be a matter of days before that gets turned over to Madison County for use, and I'm sure everybody's excited about that, but it looks really good. They don't have they don't have the bleachers in there, and that's scheduled to happen any day. Just another view of the front and the landscaping. That's kind of an evening type shot. Picture down the corridor there and some of the furniture. I meant to point out some of Madison County's bought a lot of nice, loose, soft furniture and some high tables down the corridor there. Looks really good. Here's some more Madison County purchases for the computer tables and computers, and typical classroom. And here's the health science room. I love this shot because now the beds are in there, the curtains are up, the lights, natural lights coming in, so they've got it set up well. So all under operation there at the ATC.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Do you know, and this may be fixed by now, but the locked door as you go down the lab hallway didn't have
A buzzer?
a buzzer, and she was having to walk.
It's not fixed yet.
It's not
but we've
fixed yet.
told them that it's in their contract to make that happen. So,
Hopefully they
yeah,
get that done soon, because they're having to walk all the way out of the
that makes no
office, all the
sense.
way
Yeah,
around
I
to
know.
open the door,
and
to let the kids and stuff in.
I've emailed yes. Well, I've talked straight to the contractor about this issue, and they need to take care of it quick.
Thank you.
That's quite inconvenient to walk
Well,
around. And you want to keep them locked, because it defeats the purpose, really, to have them unlocked. Southern Activities Building, I mentioned it at 5:30 this morning. They were out there with concrete trucks and pouring a lot of concrete. I don't know how many yards that is, but it's a lot. But it's, 250 feet long by over 50 feet wide, and those are trowels. So they got that in today, troweled it. You can see that there's the restrooms, the future restrooms there. But I was pleased with the surface of the slab, and there's a good shot of it looking back at your other activities building that's already in place. Now it's just a matter of letting it cure, and Madison County can come in and construct the rest of the building, or whoever is taking care of that part of it. And that's it for the activities building at Southern. Any questions on that particular project? Now we'll move to South Campus. Here's a shot just from a couple of days ago. They've got the front entry piece in, the landscaping in. They've put in the final coat of paving down, so a lot of finish-up work. Here's a view back from the inside looking out. There's the display area similar to the Ignite North. They're washing windows and cleaning windows. Similar corridor, but of course different colors. And this picture doesn't have the best colors. Still got some ceiling tile to drop. Here's a picture of one of the classrooms. Here's a picture, again, you can see different colors, different wood panel colors, different accent colors, different frame colors. And of course, here's the marketing with the cabinetry in place. And that particular floor is waxed. So they're getting around, they're doing some finished work, and they're getting very close. And as soon as they get the floors waxed, they're coming in and dropping all those ceiling tiles. The problem is they still have a pump missing. They still have a piece of equipment that they cannot get. They tell me since June, they haven't been able to get it. And it controls one of the units that probably would make it difficult to occupy the building. The subcontractor says they could get it tomorrow. They could get it in 3 weeks. They could not give us an answer. We've reported for a couple of months that everybody was shooting for September 15th. That's the end of next week, and I doubt they'll be there. But I don't think it'll be far behind. It's closing up, like I said, the finished paving is. A lot of the work outside of waiting on this pump that controls the HVAC is getting done and is getting complete. They're going to get in there this weekend and do some cleaning on the culinary lab and things of that nature and hook the culinary equipment up. So we're close. Any questions on Ignite South? I will mention that you have a motion on an agenda item a little later for a couple of change orders. Those are a change order 1 to a PO and a change order 2 to the general contract. They're just net zero changes. The chemical treatment, the water chemical treatment company couldn't provide what they needed in a timely fashion, so the GC's just going to buy it and take it out of there. So $13,325 is going away from one DPO and going into the general contract.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Tony.
all.
All right, now on to our action agenda. Go to 7A, which is to approve our monthly financial reports. Mr. Woods, how are you tonight?
Good evening, how are you all? All right. Give it a second here to load up. All right. So as of August 31st, the district ended with a reconciled balance of $64,237,688.80. We talk about this, you can see the balance is down. We have construction projects we're spending, trying to get those complete, which accounts for the difference in the balances there. Other reconciled balance, we still have $5,740,990.65 in investments. Those are, majority of that is set to mature well, it just matured over the weekend, and I'm actually going to collect the funds tomorrow for those. And we'll be looking at other investment options. Right now, they were wanting to renew those at 0.15% and 0.45%, which is terrible rates. We're getting more than double that just by letting it sit in our overnight sweep accounts. So, but I've got some other options we're looking at, and they're really promising for the district. So we should be able to get back to some of the levels we had pre-COVID. So I'm hoping that we can invest a little heavier in that and move the funds out of that where we have them now and into something that's a little more promising for the district. In your packet, you also had a balance sheet and revenue expense report for the month. I've went through those. We're on track. Of course, a lot of it is our spending up front that we have to do to get schools started. So it looks sometimes a little skewed, the percentages do, but it evens out because we do a lot of our purchasing right at the beginning of the year. Any questions?
Any questions? Can I have a motion to approve the monthly financial reports as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Cobb,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor? Aye. Next up is 7B, which is to approve the change order number 1 and change order number 2 for the Ignite Academy South. I think Tony hit on that. Does anyone have any questions or with that? No one has any questions. Can I have a motion to approve change order number 1 and change order number 2 for the Ignite Academy South as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock,
Second.
second by Ms. Cole. All those in favor? Aye. Next up is 7C, which is to approve our Microsoft agreement. I think this is the same thing we have to do every year so we can access all of our Chromebooks and so forth.
Yeah, lovely Windows programs, Office, all that kind of good stuff.
Anything you want to?
No,
I mean,
that's
it's
it.
Pretty straightforward.
Gives us the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's something we have to have, so.
Yes.
You don't have any questions for Ben about it? If not, can I have a motion to approve the Microsoft agreement as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Cool,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor? Aye. Next up is to approve the DTRS.
Yes.
Mr. Burnett.
So our Digital Technology Readiness Survey. So it's a report that we do every year for KDE. You've got a copy there in front of you. It is just a report that shows how many devices we have in the district versus how many kids we have. It talks about some positions we have. And so the intent is just to make the board aware that this is what we have for planning purposes, those kinds of things. A couple of things we like to point out are our number of instructional devices versus our total student enrollment. And so our ADA is 10,206 for this school year as of right now. Our total number of devices is 20,293. Now, the thing that we want to make sure we clarify is that looks like we have 2 devices per student, right? But a lot of that, don't forget, is the distribution, that's the word I'm looking for those devices. Some schools have more than others based on some old student stations and some things. There are legacy devices on here that honestly probably do need to go out.
But the nice thing about this report is what it does is it allows us to look at those devices. And then on top of that, it lets us look at the number of devices we have for testing purposes. And so that's on here as well. After looking at our testing devices, the things that we can use for KSA and those kinds of things, we're at like 14,000 devices. Therefore, we're in pretty good shape. So overall, again, this is just a report, a big, 100-foot view of our district as a whole. And it just gives us some really good information to help us plan as we move forward. So any questions you all have? I know it's a large report. I won't read it all to you. I wouldn't want to put you to sleep there. But I'll take any questions you have.
But in those devices, Ben, those do include the teacher devices
They do.
as well.
They do.
So
Yep.
it's not as 2-to-1 as it appears, like you said.
Yeah. It also includes, a lot of people don't think about computer labs, though they are there. They're environments that you schedule, those kinds of things. So they're not just necessarily in kids' hands, every child's hands every day, that
You
kind
might
of thing.
have a lab that's got 30 or 40 computers in it.
Yes, yeah. And some of those too are some specialty labs. We have some CAD labs and some things that, though very important, we just want to, not every kid will get to touch those every day kind of thing. So.
You have any other questions? If no one has any questions, can I have a motion to approve the District Technology Readiness Survey as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor? Aye. Next up is 7E. Thank you, Ben, appreciate it. 7E, which is to approve the Head Start MOA. I think this is something we do every year also.
Yes, it's our annual MOA with Head Start. Head Start's a federal program providing preschool services, and they have the right to, we have to do an agreement with them because they get basically the first opportunity in the county to provide services to those preschool students, and then we step in with our state preschool program to fill in the gaps where they are not hitting kids.
Does anyone have any questions? If not, can I have a motion to approve the 2022-2023 Local Head Start Memorandum of Agreement and Service Contract for Cooperation and Full Utilization of Head Start?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Coyle,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor? Aye. Next up is 7F, which is to reconvene our local planning committee.
Yes, we have to do our district facility plan. We have to update that every 4 years. It is now time to do that, even though we've had a couple of amendments in between. We still have to do the official full cycle piece every 4 years. It's time to do that. And the first step in that is assembling the local planning committee, which is it's essentially a standing committee that we have, but it includes community members, parent members, and school personnel. And there's actually a formulary piece devised by KDE that establishes how that committee is formed. And as employees might leave the district, or as parents might, students might move through the district and be representing a different school or no longer in the district, then we have to select new members for those vacancies. So in order to do that, that's the approval of the local planning committee, which will be devised. But the first thing we have to do as a board is to actually vote to reconvene that group. So necessary action.
Anyone have any questions? If not, can I have a motion to reconvene the local planning committee for the purpose of creating a new district facilities plan?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Cobb, second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor? Aye. Next up is 7G, which is to develop a MOU with the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Dr. Gill?
Yes, as you know, we're trying to increase the number of school resource officers servicing our schools. And we have 4 schools that are out in the county service area outside of city limits. And that's, as you see here, it's Boonesboro, Kingston, Kirksville, and Waco. So we've worked with the Madison County Sheriff's Office to try to fill those spots and staff school resource officers at those schools. So this would be our memorandum of understanding with them. Just for the record, it's pretty much identical to the memorandum of understanding that we have with City of Berea and City of Richmond for school resource officers within city limits.
So are we going to, we'll have a full-time resource officer in these 4 facilities now?
At this time, the sheriff has hired folks to be able to do that, yes. So we anticipate being able to staff those, yes.
You don't have any other questions? If not, can I have a motion to authorize the superintendent to develop a memorandum of understanding with the Madison County Sheriff's Office for the school resource officer services at Boonesboro, Kingston, Kirksville, and Waco elementary schools?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Cool,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor? Aye. 7H is to create and ratify a 1.0 paraeducator at Kirksville Elementary.
Just a paraeducator position funded through the school with school funds.
Anyone have any questions? If not, can I have a motion to create, ratify a 1.0 paraeducator position at Kirksville Elementary School?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Brock,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor? Aye. Next up is number 8, which is our superintendent's report.
All right, well, thank you. School is off to a great start this year. We appreciate all the work of our staff, our students, obviously, but our staff, our teachers, all of the folks across the county that were able to welcome kids into the building on August 17th. So we're excited about this school year. Our hearts, though, continue to go out to our folks in eastern Kentucky, and we remember them as they're still trying to deal with those cleanup efforts from the flood. Just so you all will know, some of those schools have already started back. Some are scheduled to, some start back this week, some are scheduled to start back in a couple of weeks. And this week, on Tuesday, we went down with a couple of loads of our surplus furniture to Letcher County to help with that. So that was a good venture there. Appreciate David Rohr and Mark Jeck, who drove the trucks to get us down there, and all of our maintenance crew that got that equipment together, loaded it on the trucks, and made sure it was ready to go. As we mentioned there with the SROs, I have met with Sheriff Mike Coyle a couple of times and his staff over the past month to work on the SRO piece, and we're making some good headway on that. And there's also additional opportunities for us to expand through the sheriff's office. So we're looking at that. And along that same line with school resource officers, earlier in the month, I met with Representative Bill Wesley. He's working on legislation, pending legislation for school safety, school resource officers, and looking at that. So we've been having some communication on what that legislation might look like. As well, with that legislation piece, participated in the KSA Government Affairs Committee session a couple of weeks ago. And then on September 2nd, met with Bluegrass Community Technical College. We heard Garrett people talk about BCTC. We met with them to look at additional ways to expand those dual credit opportunities and expand other post-secondary opportunities for our students. The big one there is looking at how we can take the work that we're doing at the Ignite Academies and branching it out even more. So some good stuff there. And Somerset Community College was at the table as well that afternoon. And then today, you heard Garrett mention having students at the President's Luncheon hosted by the Richmond Chamber. It was great to see them there. I attended that. Mr. Neely and I attended that. We also attended the sponsorship event there that was held by EKU. So a lot of good stuff going on in our community throughout our school system, and that's my superintendent report.
Thank you. Number 9 is comments from the board. Anyone have any comments? I have one thing, and speaking of our sheriff's office, this year since the beginning of school, they've been at Kingston every day, directing traffic, which is usually only happened the first few days of school, but they've been out there every day, and it's really helped the flow of traffic and people getting in and out. So I just want to say thank you to them for that, because it's made a big difference, so. What else?
I think it's been really good for me to see all the kids doing everything again. You know, we're doing soccer games, we're doing volleyball games, we're doing football, we're doing, all the elementary get-togethers and all the middle school get-togethers. And just for me personally, when we went and did school visits the first day, it just felt different. It felt really good. And I really feel like that this year is going to be a great year for everybody. And I'm just really excited to see everybody with joyful hearts. And it's been really good. And with that said, we've got both high school homecomings coming up next weekend. So we've got parades on Thursday and games on Friday. So good luck to Southern and Central. I wish we could be in both places. But anyway, good luck to those teams. And I know the kids have all, at both high schools, have got some fun stuff planned for next week. So I'm glad to see all that going again too.
Anyone else? If not, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Cobb,
I'll second.
second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.